Vancouver. Like it's getting ugly there.
Yeah, and I mentioned this, on That's Hockey last night, and it's anecdotal, so you got to be careful. It's not scientific, and this is before the Habs laid another one last night, a really bad one. But as bad as things are in Montreal, what I'm perceiving, and you guys can tell me, I think the level of angst and anger among the fan base is higher in Vancouver than it is in Montreal. Now, is that because the Habs have some legitimate excuses with Carey Price out and everything else? Is it because that those Habs fans that want a GM change know that Mark Bergevin's deal's up at the year? Whereas none of those conditions existed in the Vancouver equation. I mean, you can't really look at injuries and say, well, this is why this is happening. And you guys can disagree, but I feel the level is higher in Vancouver right now from the fan base. And, I don't want to pick on one player because I think that's totally a team thing right now going on with that team. But Elias Pettersson hasn't looked like himself for a while now.
Been bad. He's had some real tough nights, like not just not scoring, but giving the puck away.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, Pierre, as far as maybe Vancouver fans being even a little more heated than Montreal. Like Montreal's fans got and experienced the finals last year. Mm-hmm. Then at the start of the year, they've got the built-in excuse. No Carey Price. They're on their third or fourth goaltender or fourth string goaltender playing games with the injury to Jake Allen. No Shea Weber, Hoffman. We just talked about it, like it not going well. Vancouver has all their players, if I'm not mistaken. Like that's their team for the most part. I know they've had a few injuries and guys in and out, but for the most part, the guys that are making the money on that group are playing. Like they're playing tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. So, I think that's where the fan base might differ is, Montreal's got some built-in excuses, whether you use them or not, where Vancouver's like, what the hell's going on here? We've got everybody in the lineup, and now they're aiming it at Jimmy Benning and roster construction. They're aiming it at Travis Green. Can't get the most out of these players. How about the players take some responsibility, too?
Yeah, and to me, that's got to be part of looking at the whole picture there in Vancouver. But, I didn't think they were going to be world beaters this year, but I thought they would contend for a playoff spot. So they've been a pretty big disappointment to me again because they don't have any injuries. And where do you go from here? Jim Benning has this year next on his deal. Travis Green just signed an extension. I just point these things out because I know that it's clear what the Canucks fan base wants. And I guess I'll bring something up that doesn't get brought up a lot in Canadian markets because I don't think we're used to bringing it up. But NHL owners have gone through the pandemic here, and money is money. And I'm just telling you that it's not to say that ultimately Jim Benning won't lose his job or Travis Green, but the fact that they both have some term on their deals is not nothing when you're an owner these days. I'm telling you. And like why was Mark Bergevin not signed to an extension this offseason? The only thing I can come up with, and obviously he wouldn't talk about it and no one else has in the organization, is that they didn't see eye to eye on the number.
And to be honest with you, Pierre, and I see it behind the scenes at games, teams have cut way back on all the stuff you don't see. Like they're still paying the players, they got the coaches, but behind the scenes, these teams took a lot of losses last year, and they've cut back. You can see there aren't nearly as many people working behind the scenes as there used to be. So I mean, again, and I'm not accusing Francisco Aquilini of anything. I'm just pointing out that does he, in this very moment, feel like paying 2 GMs and 2 coaches?
That's a fair question.
I say no. But something has to give there. Like I don't think Jimmy Benning's going to lay in traffic for Travis Green. So that's ultimately it might be the scenario where the coach gets it before the manager, but the manager is going to get it because eventually people realize that the roster is not, constructed to contend. Quite frankly,
and it looked like a couple of years ago they might. They had that good run in the bubble, but maybe that was a blip. Demko was really good that year in the playoffs,
really I know we got to run, but I was thinking about this the other day about Canadian markets and when we get excited about teams, and then Ottawa, was it 2017? Ottawa went to the conference final and one overtime goal away from the Cup final.
Yep.
And look at every single thing that happened right after that moment for the Senators. And hey, from a Senators fans right now, I'm pretty excited about the young talent I have. I'm just saying they're one goal away from the Cup final, and then all the roster deconstruction happened and the drama happened after that. Vancouver, you just mentioned, Final Four and everything that's happened since. Montreal Cup final. I'm just saying, I hope it's not a curse now that if you're a Canadian team and you go deep in the playoffs, that all hell's going to break loose the following year.
Well, you know what, though? Fans in some of these markets, and including this one, will take their chances on that. They'll take a deep playoff run and roll the dice on that.